Hi, I'm Russ Haslage, President of the International Federation of Trekkers, coming to you to appeal to your sense of goodwill. The Federation has been a source for good for 36 years. Gene Roddenberry assisted me in building the organization, and his primary mission for us was to go places and help people. So I'm asking you to help us help people. Our chapters around the world focus on the needs locally, and at times of major disaster, I coordinate the efforts of all of those chapters to dispatch volunteers, aid, and supplies to the necessary areas. Our chapters are all around the world, and the need is great everywhere, from wildfires to hurricanes, famine, from Zimbabwe to here in Ohio. So I'm asking for you to help us raise funds in one way or another. We are a 501c3 charity. Donations are tax deductible. And the one problem for anyone running a nonprofit is spreading the word about what we do and what we need. And I could use your help in spreading the message about the Federation, our past, and how we want the world to be a much better place, as we saw in Star Trek. The Federation has always had a unique way to pay the bills and take donations for our charity outreach. Our retail sales are what pay the bills. Our operating costs, nobody's paid in the Federation. We're all volunteers. Nobody's paid a penny. So the retail sales, whether online or here in the promenade, pay the overhead. They pay the rent and the electricity and all that stuff. When someone gives to our humanitarian fund, 100% goes to help people. We don't take any off the top for administrative or operating costs like other charities. 100% goes to help people. And sometimes we have to decide, does it go to this mission or this mission, but we always try and keep them well supported. And it always tends to work out that maybe the mission B didn't get as much this month, but then we make up for it the next month because people are good. They know that we're going to use their funds to help people, and they can even say, I want you to use this in this part of the U.S. or for this mission. You've got a mission in Zimbabwe. It's an orphanage, but also there's elderly there, and they're all suffering from COVID. That is a tough mission. We've got missions in Australia with the wildfires, California with those wildfires. And so we try and support all of those as much as we can, depending on the need. But people who donate can say they want this specifically to go towards one mission or another. There's always need, whether here in our world headquarters city of Huron, Ohio, it's a small town, but there are kids without coats, so we're working on that this year. There are people, this time of year with COVID, this has been a tough year because most school kids are schooling from home, which means they don't have school breakfasts and lunch available. So our sister charity, Everyone's Mom, which has space here in the complex, they are helping to collect and distribute the food to kids that don't get those meals anymore from the schools. Likewise, our conference room is going to be outfitted so that local children who need to do remote schooling but don't have Wi-Fi or equipment can come here and use ours. There is need everywhere. If you give to the humanitarian fund, all of it goes to help people. If you donate to the overhead, then thanks, because it's always something. But your money is safe. We are rated platinum by every nonprofit organization, their rating organization out there. We get top marks, and what you donate to help people will go to help people. I became a Star Trek fan in 1979 when Star Trek the Motion Picture was released. In the 60s, I didn't watch it much. I was too busy playing baseball. But what drew me in was the human element to Star Trek. I wasn't in so much for the space or starships and things. It was the human element that really drew me in. So I went to see it 13 weeks in a row at the Wednesday matinee. When Star Trek II was released 3 years later, I was first in line to see it at the local theater, and left there knowing I couldn't be alone in wanting to find other people interested in Star Trek. The problem was, none of the fan clubs of the time were really focused on what drew me in to be a fan of Star Trek, which is the human condition. The fact that the future can be a better place if we embrace each other's differences, that makes it possible for us to accomplish anything. That's what drew me in. So after a year of searching different fan clubs, I decided, well, if I'm going to do one myself, I'm going to do it right, and took a shot and called Paramount Pictures, asked for Gene Roddenberry's office, and they put me through. I was shocked there. I didn't think I was going to get that far. They answered the phone at Gene's office. I asked to speak to Mr. Roddenberry. They said he wasn't in and took my information. And I thought, well, it was the most polite brush off I've ever gotten. About 10 days later, I received a phone call, and he said, "Russ, this is Gene Roddenberry returning your call." And so I stammered for about 5 minutes. Then I told him my story, that I became a fan, and none of the other fan clubs were really what I was looking for. Would he help me create the ultimate Star Trek fan club? And so he said, sure. I liked your whole approach. And so he then asked me, what does the crew of the Enterprise do in every episode? Because you got to realize, up to that point, we had the original series and 2 movies. Well, yeah, 2 movies. And I stammered with all kinds of answers, from Explore Strange New Worlds, which made him chuckle and say, you can't do that, really, can you? So 80 minutes goes by, and finally Gene led me to find the answer. The answer is the crew of the Enterprise in every episode goes places and helps people. So that's what we should do in the real world Federation of then the 20th century, now of the 21st century. And so we do style the organization after Star Trek. It's got the Gene Roddenberry origins and everything with us. And the fact that Star Trek really does point out that our differences are the gifts that are going to make us do wondrous things. So starting with that phone call, Gene spent 8 years teaching me all he could. And the Federation launched the opening day of Star Trek III, and June 1st, 1984, and we've been going ever since. We're entering what I'm calling a new era for the Federation. In the Star Trek universe, we've got a whole bunch of new shows that have been released on CBS All Access, which is terrific because we can't get enough. For the Federation, being the real world embodiment of the Federation from Gene Roddenberry's day, we're taking a bigger and bolder approach to what we've done for 36 years. We have created or put together what we call the Federation World Headquarters Complex, which here we are in the captain's chair at the Visitor Center. There's a retail area called the Promenade. We have the transporter room, which is where we ship orders, and conference room, of course, for Federation events and community events. We've got offices for our community outreach here locally, and storage areas for the support we provide to the chapters. So this complex is the basis for the new era of the Federation. With chapters all over the world needing support from us, we needed something more than just home offices around the world trying to get everything done. Here we have the facilities to better serve our chapters while they serve people in need, and also to take a more prominent stand as a legitimate charity organization with an office where people can see that we're really here. We're really an organization. They can see what we do, whether locally or globally. And so this is the first step in what I think in 2021 will be a whole new age for the Federation. Still always following Gene's guidance from the first 8 years, because the ideals outweigh anything else. So you will see a lot from Federation World Headquarters, and if you have the chance to visit, I would love to welcome you into the complex and show you around. If you can't beam down to Federation World Headquarters in beautiful Huron, Ohio, I invite you to take a look at our website at TrekFederation.com. There you can visit the promenade and shop till you drop. You can join online, learn our history and our missions, and become a part of the Federation of today's world. Now, we also have Facebook. We're Trek Federation. On Twitter, we're Trek Federation. You can also text or call us at 877-365-TREK. That's 877-365-8735. Feel free to reach out. Anything you need, we're here for you. You can also listen to our online streaming radio station, Odyssey One, ODYSY1.com. Streams 24/7. Science fiction, vintage radio shows, paranormal, all kinds of cool stuff. Pretty popular thing, and once in a while we talk Federation on there. But we're everywhere, and you can also, on the website, check out the headquarters cam, and you can have a look at the bridge anytime you like, day or night. There's a whole lot of other resources, including our Federation Promenade is online. You can buy merchandise, join the Federation, and join. Joining is not necessarily just for Star Trek fans. We have a number of members who join because they believe in what we do, although they know nothing about Star Trek. So even if you're not a Trek fan, if you like to do what Trek was all about, going places and helping people, this is where you want to be. We have been at this for 36 years, and I hope, every day I wake up going, I hope I have made Gene proud with what we've become. His goal for us back in 1983 was to grow to the stature of the Salvation Army or the Peace Corps. We've still got a little way to go, but I think we've made great strides in the last 3 or 4 years with the addition of our first disaster relief shuttlecraft, as we call it. It's a van, but hey, you gotta stay with the whole motif. And trailer, and now the new complex. Expanding our mission locally and globally, helping wherever we can, and even at certain times, we've had people contact us with needs in areas where we don't have chapters, and we dispatch people and aid to those areas. So if there's a need, we want to be able to fill it. So join us, because the more people that we have, the more people we can help. So join us online, TrekFederation.com, shop in the promenade, say hi to us on the live chat, or call us 877-365-TREK. You can call or text us on that number. But we're here to serve you. We're here to support those who perform the mission, and we want to be able to be available to everyone who has a need or wants to help fulfill the need.